It is an immense pleasure to speak with you today. I'm so honored by this opportunity. And I want to begin by what you have gone through when you were 12 years old, when you were living in Hungary, and your life turned upside down from one day to the next. Can you tell us about the days that unfolded prior to the devastating reality that emerged, where your family were taken into the concentration camps?
Well, I want to thank you first of all for taking the time and give me my opportunity to my history. Um, for me, a pleasure to explain it to you, what has happened prior to the war. We were living in Hungary in a small city and northern part of Hungary, and father was a businessman, was buying grains and wheat and from the farmers and was selecting them and was selling the product to mostly to beer companies, to Germany, and also for flour mills. And that was our business. Mother was a housekeeper, and we had a very happy family life. And till the Hungarian government changed hands, at one point they replaced the old leader because he was not cooperating with the Germans. So they could take advantage of occupying Hungary. And Hungary had about close to 1 million Jews at that time. We were having a problem because there was Jewish laws came into effect where a Jew couldn't travel anywhere from his house. He had to be reported if he went anywhere. For example, couldn't go to universities. He couldn't go to certain profession, and we were ready to live with it. We were hoping that the Allied forces will come as soon as possible, so we're going to be liberated from all the Jewish laws. And unfortunately, it didn't come fast enough because Germany occupied Hungary, and there was no chance of leaving anywhere. So we still were hoping that the war will be turning around, and it did turn. The Russian front was coming towards the west, and quite rapidly. They were coming towards Poland and Hungary. We were hoping we'll have enough time to be liberated, but I experienced the situation where we were picked up in April 1944, and we went to a ghetto in a bigger city where they assembled most of the people from the outskirts of a town, and we were loaded in train. My whole family was together. We were always thought we were going to be able to stick together. Of course, that did not happen, because as soon as we got off the train, we were separated from my mother and my sister. I remained with my father, and we didn't know where we went, or what it is. It was a different world. We were captured, couldn't go anywhere, and we didn't know that there was a selection. And this happened to be in Auschwitz. This is how I remained there for about 9 months. So very lucky. I was a big kid, and fairly strong, so I could work, and I had different jobs. But it was always, we didn't know. Every day there was a challenge. We didn't know whether we're going to go to sleep in the same bed or not.
How did you deal with everything you were seeing around you, and with this loss of freedom, and the possibility that you may die any day? How did you deal with this physically and emotionally?
You become sort of an animal instinct. You're not thinking of anything, of being normal, because you have to accept the fact that this is a life for survival. The only thing that your mind is working on is food. It's very easy to diet for a day or 2 or 3, but constantly being in a diet, you become like an animal, and you don't analyze anything, just how do I get some food? People were killing each other for food. Father killed son, and son killed father to take away their food. You become completely, like I said, the animal instinct.
Incredible. And I know you mentioned in the past that you were brought to do work in the agriculture, like in the farming, in the camp, because of the past skills that you had developed. Being exposed to the farming, was that a way to potentially have more easily access to food during the time, or it was not the case, and everything was just so regimented?
Being close to food, we had first of all, you were not allowed to touch anything. We were working on a weed. Mm-hmm. And you can't eat weed.
Yes.
And if you steal anything, we put in our pocket some oat, and eat it with water, raw, but it was not allowed. If you have anything,
of course,
you just punishment is death. Is no second chance. So you're scared, and there was not the type of food that we could eat.
I understand. And when you mentioned that when you arrived at the camp, you were separated, you went with your father and so on. Did you know? I mean, I know the outcome of the sad outcome that happened with your mother and your sister. Were you informed, or even that process itself, people would disappear and you would have no idea what happened to them?
We had no idea. I had no idea of what was going on with my mother and sister. In fact, I was running after the war. I was running home. I was expecting them to be there.
Wow.
And it was a very disappointed time of my life to accept what has happened. I was angry and bitter after the war, frustrated. I wanted to fight.
And what emerged? What emerged after? Because I know because you also lost your father.
Yes.
As well. So you were put in an orphanage. How do you celebrate freedom after the devastation and the inhuman reality that you were exposed to on a daily basis? How did you find strength after?
I was lucky. I always had good friends. I think I basically we helped each other. Friends, we had most of my friends. We went through the same situation, and it was a sad period, as I told you, frustrated period. I was lucky, let out a lot of frustration. I was very much involved with, I enjoyed sports. And that carried me through a time when I was so frustrated. So I was playing soccer, and I was doing any sport. I was very much into it. I enjoyed it, and of course, I loved competition all the time.
And I know the sports, even just riding the bike, helped you in one instance while you're in the camp, right? When one of the officers asked you, "Do you know how to ride a bike? Can you teach my son?" Correct?
Yes, yes.
How did you feel? Because it was almost like a glimmer of hope in the context that was just so devastating. How did you feel in that instance? It was another way to buy another, day, another.
You, as I told you before, you become a different person. You do what you're told, and you're hungry. And basically, this is where it ends your life. And when you get so tired that you're fall into your little section of what you call it, a bed, and then you go to sleep with hunger. As I told you, you roll with the punches.
Mm.
You roll with the punches. The most important part of our life was, where do I get a piece of bread?
And how did the choice come for you after? Because as you were saying, because of everything you have gone through, the closeness, at least that you had with your friends, was really a means to come together and share the experiences in order to continue living after the trauma. And all your friends were basically in proximity, but then you choose to come to Canada. Can you just share a little bit the decision to come to Canada, and how did that impact the close relationships you had with all the friends that had lived through what you had lived through?
As far as survive being if you did not have friends and you were not personable, you will get no chance. We had always some. I always was with some groups where they were older than me, but a loner didn't have a chance to continue. Mm-hmm. Because if we used to also share a piece of bread or some any food, we used to share among us, but we didn't share with the one who was not capable of contributing. Mm. And being a kid, riding a bike, like you said, it was just plain luck that I think about it very often. I say I was going to the gas chamber, and I was pulled out. So how lucky can I be? So and I ran after a little kid, and I knew how to ride a bike. I was very much I like a jock, you know. Yeah. And after that, I get an easier job, and in a stockroom. Foreman tolerated me. I couldn't do all the work that had to be done because I just didn't have the strength. But he didn't report me. I was lucky that he was a human being from Poland who was a political prisoner, and those are the ones that basically political prisoners are the ones that run the camp. Not that he liked the Jews. Nobody liked the Jews, and still nobody likes the Jews. And we can't do nothing about it.
How do you look at life today as you think about everything you have experienced? What do you believe is the meaning of life as you think back on everything you've been exposed to since you were young?
Life is what you make it. If you are not ready to handle life, then it's very sad. But life is very cruel, very tough. It's always, even today, people are starving. People are in bad situation. But you have to be able to handle it and go on, and I think to be positive and come over at the hurdle. I say there's nothing going to stop me. I went into sports. I say I want to excel. In business, I want to excel. In life, I want to excel. My family, I want to as positive as possible. My kids are all very well adjusted, though they know my story, and I don't harp on it, but the life goes on. Otherwise, it's very easy to give up.
I agree. And talking about your children, when did you choose to share your story with them? How old were they? I know you have 3 daughters. You have grandchildren and also great-grandchildren. When did you choose to share your story?
Well, we went to Auschwitz, the whole family. Mm-hmm. And the 3 kids and my wife, we went to Auschwitz. I explained everything, where we were and how I was, where is my bunker. And they asked questions. And my daughter was the youngest one is 8, and the other one is maybe 15. And this is where it started, but we never really talked much about it. This was another life. Mm-hmm. We have to keep on going and succeed with what you do.
And you've built a beautiful life in Canada.
Yes.
You're in wrestling.
Yes.
competing again. That was really, really phenomenal. You also build a furniture business. I was wondering if you could share a little bit more about your journey in Canada.
Canada was welcoming me in the Jewish community, actually. Canada, when I came, was very anti-Semitic.
Mm.
There were a lot of fights um, in different places. In Plage Laval, for example, the beaches were fighting. Was always a group of people that wanted to fight. So I was always ready to fight. And being frustrated like that was my thing. I've been satisfied through the years that I don't want to fight anymore.
Mm.
First of all, I had this incident that I hurt somebody badly, and I said, I'm stupid, I'm not going to fight. Adjusted to trying to adjust to the situation where I was, and I happened to have again good friends, a very nice lady who was very nice to me. She lost her husband. She practically adopted me, and it was very influential in my youth. And it was a mutual love. It's that I'm still live with it.
How do you look at humanity today, at the human spirit?
Well, today is I feel like I'm on a bonus. I enjoy my family. I enjoy reading, golf. I'm fine, although I miss my wife. I lost her about a year and a half ago. I have a very good help, and she was with my wife also. So we're happy in a way that we found each other, and we're trying to be nice to each other, and that gives me an extra bonus of in life. It's I feel that I'm still lucky.
And what brings you the most joy in life today?
My family. Today it's my family. When I see all the kids together and the grandkids together for holidays, it is gives me the most joy, and it also gives me the pleasure of promoting the wrestling center, which I built, and I've seen all the young kids who trying to follow my footsteps. I think, account to that, they're becoming good citizens.
And if there would be a recipe for joy or living more joyfully, what would be the three main ingredients in your view?
I think the main reason is first of all, to love somebody. And this will carry you through a lot of hurdles. And to share with that person your life, I think it's a very important part of life. And also to have good friends, and that somebody that you can have a discussion with and be interested in the world, not just take everything for granted.
with your family? You mentioned you have 3 daughters, you have 7 grandchildren, and 8 great-grandchildren.
Yes.
How beautiful. It's just heartwarming to know. How has your journey as a Holocaust survivor impacted how they look at life?
Well, uh, how they look at life, um, everyone is different. It could be 2 sisters. They're, they're not the same. They, they have different ideas, different way. And I have to accept it. I have to accept that we all different, and we have to not to criticize, not to find anybody at fault or anything. This is what I'm trying to emphasize on them. Say, listen, you're not perfect either, so don't think you are. So I'm still a sort of a judge, but in a whole, it's with a close family.
If someone listening to this interview today is struggling with various life realities, you have undergone unimaginable trauma during the Holocaust. What advice would you have for someone that is just struggling with whatever life circumstances has brought their way? How can they pick themselves up and continue seeing the beauty of life despite maybe the darkness that they may be in? Do you have some specific advice you may want to share?
I'd like to emphasize that, nobody gonna give you anything. You have to work for it. You have to fight for it. You have to do whatever it takes to get out of your cocoon. And if you don't, you're not going to be a happy person. And I would say the most important part is to have friends that you can relate to and talk to, and of course you can, if you're married, you have to share with your wife with your situation, and it's nice also to listen to others and how to help them. And but if you are a giving person, then it's always good that you will receive. It's not a one-way street. You have to give in order to receive.
What role does hope play in your view?
And at this point, I hope I'm staying healthy. And at this age, I can't ask for any more than what I have. And I never really did wanted more than I had. I was always happy somehow, and even in a situation where I was in trouble, when I was poor, when I didn't have enough food, somehow I always looked at the good side, the bright side of life.
I love that. And what is your secret to staying young? You're 93 years young. What is your secret?
Well, I exercise practically every day. I think that helps. Secondly, you be active, read, be active, walk, and trying to do the best we can.
George, is there anything else you'd like to share with our audience about your incredible journey that you think would be worthwhile for them to know?
My feeling of today is very disturbed by what's going on in the Middle East, and there's a huge problem where our people suffer and the Palestinians suffer. The both sides is thinking that it's their land, and Palestinian thinks it's their land. We think it's our land, and it's no. I don't see any end to that, and I feel my people, even I have some relatives in Israel who are very depressed and to live with this situation, and I feel those people. I feel bad. I feel bad for the Palestinian children, and I feel bad for the Jewish children, because there's no. I don't see any end to this. Not in my lifetime. I don't see it. It could be a disaster. Could be a nuclear weapon. I don't know. I'm very concerned that they get a nuclear weapon through Iran. Well, they'll use it, and so where are we going? We're going backward.
We have to have hope.
Have to get action. We were hoping in Europe. We were hoping, but we didn't take action. I believe in sometime you have to fight. It's if you're just hoping. My people were hoping and praying, and they thought that the Messiah will come. They were so stupid.
So action is the way forward to carve a future.
You can't sit and just wish and hope and pray. I don't believe in praying anymore. I believe that you do something about it. God will not save you.
Do you believe in God?
No.
Has that changed over your lifetime?
Yes. Yes. How can I believe when I've seen the slaughter? Like you see the babies and thrown into the ditch, and the people are burning. They burned, and when they took away the kids, Hamas took away the kids, and they were playing football with his head. Where is God?
What do you believe is at the root of humans being able to go so far in these atrocities? What action is needed to actually change things around?
Look, we started out like animals, and in thousands of years, we became walking on two legs. And as far as I see that in my lifetime, everything was in suspicion. There was no knowledge of what's going on. Everybody was looking, and they're still looking at what are they looking for? You see intelligent people looking, and when you see there takes 3 months to get to another planet. So is that heaven is beyond that, or where is he? I mean, I'm just my own observation, and I don't. I only have 5 years or 6 years, maybe 5.5 years of schooling, but I always questioned it. How come so? How come this university graduated scientists they're looking at up there?
So what advice would you have for the young generation, your great grandchildren that are the future of this world? What advice would you give them to create a better world?
First
and a
of all,
better
I want
future?
them to be honest. I don't know if you're not honest, I'll kill you. Hard work and be fair, and if you want to succeed in anything, work at it. You could be sport, you could be a scholar, you can be music. Nothing comes easy. And don't cop out, because then you're a loser.
So, George, any final words of wisdom you would like to share?
I say it's you have to work at anything you do. If you want to be happy, work will give you satisfaction, and nothing will come your way easy.
So on these beautiful words, George, it's been an immense pleasure to be with you here today.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. And wishing you continued joy on the journey ahead.
Thank you. You're very nice. Very, very smiling. So I want you to go away smiling.